All right, so we're going to take a little tour of OpenShift and see what's going on there. So I've got a OpenShift platform set up on GCP right now. Go ahead and log in. So the first thing you'll notice is that there's a couple different views in here on this dashboard. There's an administrator view, and then there's also a developer view. And then you can switch back and forth between the two of those. So if we look over at the developer view, all right, so we're going to deploy from Git. We're going to select the sample application I've got here, and it's going to pull that and decide that that's Golang. We'll leave the rest of these as is, and then click Create. So now it's actually pulling the details. We can actually go in and watch the build running. You see it's cloning down the app and starting to do the actual builds on that. It says the build is complete. If we go over back to the topology page here, we'll see that we actually have a successful complete. Okay, so here we are on the administrator dashboard. From here you can see that we've got a cluster version update available, and we can actually view details and do the upgrade from there, or click the update button here. Go ahead and do that. Which version do we want? We can choose. Now I've noticed that during the updates that the API is not available when it actually goes and does the update to the specific API. Very similar to other platforms. Okay. So the other thing we want to take a look at is this idea of operators. If we go to the operators page here, first of all, we can take a look at the installed operators. We don't have any operators installed. What you can do though is you can go to this operator hub. You can choose different things from the operator hub. So if we type in mesh, for example, we can find the different mesh options that are in here. In this case, we're going to choose the Red Hat OpenShift Service Mesh, which is Red Hat's implementation of Istio. So if we go ahead and click install on that, and you could say what kind of a installation you want, obviously, in which namespace, what kind of an update channel, or you want just a 1.0, or you want stable. And then the update strategy. So the mechanism behind this is that it'll actually automatically update these operators for you. You can choose to use manual or automatic. So we'll just keep the defaults and click subscribe. So what this is doing is it's actually behind the scenes, it's using an operator hub framework technology. We can actually go take a look at from operator hub here. And these are not just standard operators. They're similar to your standard operators, but these have a couple extra components that are installed within OpenShift directly. If we go to operator hub, these are the open source implementations of that same exact catalog. And then if you look at the bottom here, you can actually go and find out more about the framework and the operator lifecycle manager. So the lifecycle manager is actually what is the key thing behind it, and it implements a couple things that are critical. There's a catalog and there's a subscription. Without those two components, the operators won't run in your standard Kubernetes. So those are actually installed by default in OpenShift. So when you click the buttons in here, all these operator things will install by default in here. So just like that, we installed Istio. If we go back, we can actually choose to install a couple other things. Let's see if we can find what else is in here. Let's see, databases. So I can install, let's see what looks good. Let's do Mongo. Yeah, Mongo looks good. So we'll just install Mongo right from here. Again, automatic updates. Whenever there's an update, we can actually go do that. And these will get installed and automatically update behind the scenes when there's new versions out there. So I don't have to do any YAML. I don't have to install any extra code. And these will automatically be updated for me behind the scenes. I come back and we should see the Mongo installed here in just a second. So here's our Mongo installed. If we go take a look at this, here's all the details for it. This is a subscription that we talked about before. You can actually interact with the service itself from here. So I can create a user. So again, this is a lot more straightforward than having to work directly with YAMLs every single time. Developer view just for my applications. I'm in a project. We'll switch over to the default project, and you'll see that I've got Istio running in here. We've got Prometheus, and we got my application. So that's it. That was a whirlwind tour of OpenShift.